Tesla's quarterly numbers. Is it going to be a big hit or a big old fat mess? I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. Well, this is either the live stream on Friday or it's the, condensed version over the weekend on the main channel. So if you're on My Tesla Live, that's the live one on Friday. And if you're on My Tesla Weekend, and I'll post links to the other because, sometimes you want to get in on the chat. There will be a Q&A afterwards. Still on the backup machine, as everyone in the chat probably knows. It's fine. So, yeah, big hit, big miss, big mess. Tough call. Tough call. Interesting to know which is which. And let me know if you can hear me and all that good stuff. It looks like I'm streaming fine. Here we go. Production. This isn't my usual chart. As you'll notice, my usual chart remains in the shop with my computer. I was just going to get it off the hard drive, but he assured me it would be done in 2 days. And we're heading into day 9. So yeah, I need to make sure I have all of them in my cloud account in the future. Yeah, and I do. They're just out of date. Fremont S and X. Pay little mind to Q1. These are not necessarily up to date. They're just guidelines. Q3, Model S and X. What do we got? I just said, what's the difference here? 15%? 15% again? That's what I'm saying. We know it's not fully ramped because there are a lot of people still waiting on their S's and X's. Jeff has been very patient, and he's been waiting a long time for his X. The car, not a different kind of X. I don't know. I've never asked, but I feel like that's none of my business. Fremont 3 and Y. Now we know they've been humming. They've been doing really good. Tesla employee reveals huge Q3 delivery surge at Fremont. But this leak, while I believe it, is absolutely anecdotal. This is at 4 a.m. The parking lot is full. What's going on? Everyone's there. Everyone's busy. So it could be a great quarter. But I said it would go up by the difference. An incremental increase from Q2. This minus this, this minus this, add them together. You get the idea. 117, 314. That's my estimate. Little dry. Shanghai 3 and Y. Now that's where it gets a lot more difficult. Maybe we'll skip that one for a minute. Why don't we do that? Let's go to Berlin Model Y. I'm saying 7,000. 7,000. I'm saying 12,420. Nice. Not scientific. We're getting back into, this is like a swag, a scientific, wild-ass guess, but without the science. We've seen a lot of trains shipping them around throughout Europe. We've seen a lot of deliveries, but we haven't seen a lot of data that would get us to where we're going. We do know that Berlin has achieved 1,000 cars in a week in June. So partway through the quarter, they got to 1,000 cars a week. Maybe they are past it, but it's really hard to get information that would let us know what they're up to. That's why I said 12,420. Texas is catching up. They've achieved a run rate of 1,000 a week, but they only achieved it at the end of August. And they were going pretty slow at the beginning of the quarter. So I came up with a bit more conservative number here, 8,200. Also, a WAG. And we know they're being shipped out on trains. We know the volume is good. We know the volume is still increasing. We don't know what any of the actual numbers are, but let's talk Shanghai. So these numbers are not guesses. These are the wholesale producer published numbers. So what is the number for September? There had been a rumor of 100,000. I had never seen anything on the ground that would support that. So what I always do, here's some of my metrics. I look at how many of the chargers are in use. I look at how full this lot is. And as you know, I also count the chillers, the heat exchange chilling towers, which is right here. And you'll see that many of them are not in motion. That tells me that the plant is not at capacity. Earlier in the quarter, they were running at capacity. We can look at the weather, 68 degrees. It's not like it's 30 degrees out and getting rid of the heat is very easy. You would think these might be moving faster if production's nice and high. And this isn't a one-off. This is on the 23rd, but also on the 15th and 16th, both Wuwa's and Jason Yang's videos, these were running at under 50% capacity, leading me to believe we are off the peak. This is nice to see, the lot being full, the cars being loaded, the chargers being mostly in use. But without the condensers going, without the cooling towers going, they are not at full capacity. So, let's see what we said for our numbers. For the Model 3, I said 10% better than their best month ever. Just remember, they retooled. They should be able to achieve a 10% improvement over the best month ever. This number might be a little optimistic. There are some delivery issues at the end. Troy recently pointed out, today I think, that normally they begin exporting again on the 26th of a month, and this month they did it on the 21st, meaning they may not have enough local deliveries to fill orders. Overall, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it'll be fine. Looking at the Model Y, more interesting. What I did is took the very good month. There was no retooling. This is just a line that runs, and I said 2% better than that month. Yeah, 2%. Giving us a total per model, 57 for the Model 3, 142 for the Model Y. Now this number may prove a bit optimistic, but it gives us a total of 199,572. That'd be great, wouldn't it? That'd be great. A run rate over, well, at 800,000. So let's pop it in. 199,576 for a quarterly total estimated 356,383. Now this is about in line with Wall Street, but I think Wall Street is going to be backing down their numbers at the very end of the month, as they often do. They look at people like me. They look at people like Troy. And Troy, I believe, is going to be revising his numbers downward on the 30th. And I don't remember what his last number was at, but it was higher than this, but I don't remember how much. A fair amount. Yeah, it was in the 360 plus range, but I don't remember the actual number. So this is, for now, my number. I'm going to look at Shanghai again. Shanghai is the big question mark. I've got a request out to Joe Tetmeyer to see what he thinks the production is for Texas. I may revise that. But that would likely be an upward revision, where this could be a downward revision. The rest of them I'm quite comfortable with. 356, 383. So yeah, we're running quick, we're running early. Plenty of time for questions. I've got a couple more metrics to show. Let's see if I forgot. Yeah, I'm sure I've got a bunch of stuff here I didn't show. We showed that. Yes, the production. 356. Let's talk about this real quick. If Shanghai is at 200,000, let's look back in time. 200,000, that used to be global production not that long ago. 5.5 years ago, that was the annual production, and now it's Shanghai. Just Shanghai. 356, if we get that, we should. I think we should. That's, again, just a couple years ago, that's a whole year's production-ish, right about here, middle of 2017 to 2018 is when they finally crossed that annual threshold. And it would put them on a run rate in excess of 1.2 million. Yeah, it'd be 1.2 Yeah, 5-ish. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. So the other numbers I wanted to point out, and it's like sometimes you look at these and you think, boy, that's just terrible. Is it? Because let's talk about how many dollars 8,200 units is. Now I just put in a margin of 10,000. We know it's probably closer to 20,000. At 10,000, it'd be $82 million in markup from that quarter. So 164,000 is probably 164 million is probably more accurate. 164 million, the factory only cost like $3 billion. So that's good money. Good look at Berlin and see it's quite a bit more. And again, I don't believe 10,000 is the margin. I believe 20,000 is the margin because they're starting at the top with the most premium models. So this is probably $250 million in profit off a factory that only cost 3-ish billion. $250 million. So per year, that's $1 billion. That's 3 years to get your money back on the entire factory. And a factory, unchanged, has a useful life of 5-10 years. Now, of course, they're always changing. They're always making improvements. But even at 5 years or 10 years, even at 10 years, they would triple their profit. They'd get 12 billion, and that's without ramping. That's before they ramp. So let's get silly. 2 billion in profit this quarter, just at $10,000 markup. Now, locally in Shanghai, in China, they may only be getting $10,000 in profit, but when they export them, they get far more. But even at 10,000, that's $2 billion for a factory that costs $3.5–4 billion. They're making their entire nut back per year, minimum, and they're still ramping. Now, Fremont, not as exciting, 1.1 billion, and another. This margin is definitely low. There's no way the margin is 10,000. Why don't we change that to 30,000 on the? So, and 10,000, it's probably quite a bit higher, even with the Model 3s going out to Hertz and others. But even still, you're talking $1.6 billion a quarter in profit from their least efficient factory by far. Wow, that's exciting to me. So that's the production. If that's all you came for, let's take a look over at the other stuff, see what we've got. We've covered it. Yeah. They've made 10,000 Model Ys in Texas already. So that also affected my numbers. If they've only made 10,000 cumulatively as of August, that tells me this number is probably about right. It's probably about right. But we'll get some opportunity to revise that over the next week. Let's see what we got here. Oh, by the way, next week I'm going to be streaming early. And on the main channel instead, I'm going to be covering AI Day 2. That'd be funny. I should just cover AI Day 1. Just live stream the first one. No, I'm not doing that. And I have, it looks like, a very special guest who will be on the channel. Don't want to ruin it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. All right. And what am I forgetting? And yes, that's right. Next week, it'll be early. It'll be during the event. It'll probably start a half hour before AI Day 2. And I may have a call-in guest who is on site. It will depend on the quality of his connection. So we shall see. So yeah, if you just tuned in for that, that's it. Now we're going into the Q&A where we will get a little into the weeds because we've got plenty of time, all the time in the world. LG, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I enjoy putting in the work. I enjoy crunching the numbers. I do want to thank folks in the pre-chat for helping me dial in my numbers a little better because I've been working on this all day. So let's see. And I had to change my thumbnail because because I originally said, man, it's going to beat Wall Street by so much. And then I actually finished crunching the numbers. I'm like, man, it's probably going to beat it by this much. Okay. David is ready for another beer. That sounds great. Let's see. Sounds good, yeah. We've heard of a few lawsuits in Europe. That wouldn't happen if deliveries were too low. That's a good point. Berlin is running about 1,800 a week now. I'll do some more digging on that, and I will reach out to the people I know in Berlin and see what they've heard. Oh dear, Wall Street is at 358K. No, it looked like earlier. And as of a day or two ago, MD Hofsty shared with me a link that said, no, they're at about 356. Something like that. GLJ going to have a field day. Gojo has a field day every day because he's like a child on a field trip. So that's kind of fun. Hello, Toby. I am doing well. Yeah, I've got some busy, stressful stuff coming up this weekend that I will absolutely get through because I have magnificent coping skills. Let's see. MD Hofsty's not sure if he'll make it because of the timing of next week's live stream. What do we got? Why do I think factories only last 5 years? They don't. But there's retooling, and if you were to not make any improvements to the line, to the production, to all that, you can your car will be obsolete in 5 years. There's so much interim cost that goes with keeping the factory current that can't be discounted. But 10 years with minimal cost to keep it up to date and modern is not ridiculous. John did point out that I let slip that it is a he that is my special guest, meaning it can't be Maribera. And Maribera is the real leader, and it's a shame. I did not reach out to see if Mary would like to join me on the live stream. That would be hilarious. David says, deliveries of machinery to Texas is going gangbusters. Still much ramping to do. How long till supply catches up with demand? I don't think we have a supply problem. I really don't. The other manufacturers, Ford has 45,000 cars sitting around waiting for bibs and bobs, mostly semiconductors, but apparently they ran out of the blue ovals, which is tragic because that's the most reliable part of the car. I think Tesla's got their supply chain figured out. They just have to ramp. I think they're doing fine. Batteries, of course, are always a concern. We've heard twice recently that batteries are not a concern right now. And earlier this week on Joe Tetmeyer's flyover, pre-dawn flyover, we could see inside, and there were tons of battery packs stacked up and ready to go. So I just think it's ramping. What is Brian's prediction for AI Day? Will the bot fall flat on its face? So I don't have too many predictions. I don't have any actual predictions because they've been very tight-lipped about it. And there is nothing but speculation, and some of it I love. I do think we'll see a Tesla bot. I do think my hope is that they allow it to be requested to perform a task that it has never seen before, and that it uses the AI to determine how to solve that request. And what I would love to see, more than a success, is a comical failure. Where they give it a request like hand a screwdriver to the most attractive person in the room, and it gives it to a Roomba. I don't know, something where you can see how it got there. I think that would be interesting. Digital Blade, do not worry about the spelling, it is fine. What time frame do I expect on Texas and Berlin ramps? So Berlin is ramping nicely. I expect both of them to be fully ramped by the end of Q2. I've heard a lot of people say end of Q1. I think that is quite possible. And like all things Tesla, the ramp never ends. It just gets to the top. It gets to a point where you can say, yeah, this is probably what they had in mind, and they'll keep growing from there. So I would say sometime between March and June. Yeah. Can the bot open a beer and chug it. Oh, I hope it doesn't chug it. I think that would be a good and hysterical failure. That would be, yes. Digital Blade Canada says that would be amazing either way. Yes. The bot should throw a steel ball at a Cybertruck. I would love to see that. I haven't seen a build report on the cathode building lately. When is the next? As soon as I get my main PC back, because it's got all the... I mean, I can rebuild the video from scratch, but it's a lot of moving pieces. And it's just... It would be a lot of work if I had to build it from scratch. The math hasn't really changed because the walls haven't actually closed. Once they close, I start counting those. So the only thing I would be counting is more roof. So I'm hoping to have that back by Monday, so I can have the next cathode report by Monday. Bender, the Optimus bot. Oh yeah, Bender does look cool when he drinks. Or was it the cigar that made him cool? I think it was the cigar. Yeah. Keep it refrigerated. Yeah. Any other questions in the chat? Any other thoughts about the production numbers? Anything you would like me... Would you like me to adjust some numbers? What different number should I put in here to see how it changes? I'll wait for that. Yeah, I'm excited about about AI Day. It's going to be pretty fun. I had invited a number of guests who couldn't make it because they will be there. But one of them has said that he will try to do a live report before it starts or after it ends. That would be very fun. And then another guest or two I asked were in time zones that made it prohibitive for them to join. If I adjust numbers, will that change reality? Yes. Yes. How can we fudge the numbers to get to 370? Okay, that is a good question. So we can start by bumping this up. What do you think? 20,000? 3 and Y? We can take this to 120. Shanghai? Oh, man, I don't know. We could go a little higher. Maybe go to... Yeah, we're almost there. Berlin, what if it's at 15? And Texas, what if it's at 10? We're only 5 short. So that's how we get to 370. I think that's quite not unreasonable at all. MD Hofsty asked if I'm going to post the other prediction yet. Is the other prediction financial? What's the other prediction? If it's financial, no, I have to get my other spreadsheets back to incorporate them. Yeah. Let's see. Guess on groundbreaking of the next plant. Will economic slowdown postpone it? Does his name start with a B? It does not. It is not Bear. Trying to think who else could be a B. But no. Let's not guess any more letters, though. Guess on the groundbreaking. I do not believe the economic slowdown would postpone it because Tesla is shooting for 50% year over year. They didn't change their plans when the pandemic hit. They accelerated because they had to. Full electrons to the floorboard, baby. So I don't. Now, if they're planning to build in Canada, groundbreaking may want to wait until we're not in the height of winter. It depends where in Canada, but there are parts of Canada that are not super friendly to construction in months like February. So I do not know. William is thinking 369,000. What is everybody's guesses? I didn't get much of that in the comments. Let's look at the poll. Yeah, I forgot to show that. Yeah. Overwhelming majority, 360 to 370. Oh, I guess 370 is tied. So, yeah, and I'm in here, tied for the least popular guess. Yeah. Who is this sagely guessed? Greater than 1. I think you're going to be right. David asks, what is red tape like in Canada versus Texas? I have to assume red tape is worse anywhere but Texas. That's my guess, but I don't know for sure. And there's a misconception that Texas is a free-for-all and that they don't, that they'll just approve anything. No, but they're definitely eager to fast-track permits and inspections. So if you've got a local authority who's willing to put in the work to get everything done in time, you're going to have a better time. It's just going to go better. That's my take. That's my take. I don't like it. Don't reveal the whisper number to Wall Street analysts. Oh, LG is thinking 355,000. MD Hofste's at 369,420. That would be juicy. Now is a good time to build. If there's a recession, there'll be plenty of labor freed up. Tesla has plenty of capital for building, will not need to borrow at high rates. I agree completely. You could say, well, yes, but if there is a recession, sales will be down. They've got a lot of margin to play with. And with domestic battery supply coming online, those margins are only getting fatter. And with the supply crunch being over and other car makers struggling, that means anything you wish to buy, you get more leverage. There's still a lot of blue water surrounding Tesla. And especially with these margins, it's looking good. LG says, Texas is easy. We only care about the money. I love it. There was, I don't remember how many people here saw this, but what was his name? Somebody for commish. He was running to be the commissioner of Travis County. And he said, if you vote for me, I won't give billionaires your tax dollars. And I was like, you're really going to run Bob for commish, maybe? Oh, what a clown. You're really going to run on, the tax abatement was only something like $60 million over 10 years. So $6 million a year, and in exchange, they've spent billions of dollars. They've employed thousands of union construction workers. The steel workers I know are union. I don't know about all of them. But the market is tight there, just like anywhere. And if you want something big, and you want it built, and you want it quick, you're going to pay top dollar. These guys are working hard and making good money. And then at the same time, he said that the jobs don't pay much, and it's driving up house costs. My friend, it's doing one or the other. It cannot do both. If they're not paying enough, it can't drive up house prices. And if they're driving up, come on. I do not believe he won his race. And that's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Your tax. Do you know how much the tax base expands by having that take place in your county? $6 million is nothing. Do you know what a small increase in property taxes it takes to offset $6 million in a year? $500,000 a month? Oh, crazy people. Dumb people. Semi deliveries in Q3 or nah? I'm saying nah. I'm saying maybe a couple out at like Pepsi that we already know about. We've seen more of them have been built, but I don't know what the delivery status is. I'm very curious about that. That's something to definitely keep an eye out for. In fact, their suppliers may have too much inventory. Elon seems to think deflation may be an issue. Deflation is easy to address. They'll have the levers to pull to fix that. Industrial, quite different from residential construction. Well, yes, but the market for industrial, for commercial construction is, I assume, just as tight in Austin. Because at least when I was there, I saw a lot of construction, not as much as, say, in Phoenix. So much commercial construction going on there. But I know there are people who bid on jobs who are told, if you get this job, you have to be able to dedicate this many people to it on a full-time basis, and they could not accept those restrictions because we've got other clients. Chelsea has said, I heard 1 truck a day and 50 battery packs. I need to check with my source. And I don't see him in the chat. So, but I know how to reach him. So I will reach out and ask how semis are doing and see if he is able to provide me with any insight. But we shall see. Every manufacturing job provides 3 service jobs. Office does about 2, and service does like 1.2. Yeah, because you need the restaurants, you need the stores, you need everything that provides it. These are good jobs. And because it's a Tesla factory, these construction jobs, it's not like when you build a data center where, we brought 100 jobs for 6 months and now 3 people run it. Imagine if the service center just kept building and building forever. Because that's what Tesla construction looks like. They build until they run out of property. JJ asks, will my Q4 video add the semi-delivery predictions? Yes. Yes, it will. Absolutely. Even if the prediction ends up being 0, I think it's an appropriate time to start tracking that. Thank you for the reminder. All right, 7:31, baby. I think we've done quite enough. Yeah, it'd be nice to get some good information on semis. I will do my best. Or my second best. Who knows? So what did I miss or misunderstand? Leave me all your thoughts in them comments below. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? All that. So stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop, I guess. Yeah, half hour, so tight. Stumble across the finish line.